you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe you are tough. Maybe you can handle all this PTSD. Maybe you can handle all the thoughts of the traumatic stuff that's happened to you. You know who's not handling it? The people around you because of you. I just finished watching the Sean Ryan show's episode with Tom Satterley. Tom was one of the people in the Black Hawk Down, the Somali incident back in the 90s. Highly recommend you go watch it, especially the part two of part three series. They're all excellent. Part two is a lot of what I'm talking about here and really struck a chord with me, not only because of what I see every day in my office and online and treating PTSD, but because of what the similar symptoms that I went through. I never compare myself to anybody else or my story. Definitely struck a chord with me, though I think it will with some of you as well. I would post it here or a clip of it, but YouTube has a tendency of violating you for using other people's things, even though Sean gives you specific permission to use it. So go check it out. I highly recommend it. Some of the things that he talked about that really struck a chord with me is that he was tough and he knew that it was hard. He knew that he was struggling, but that he was, quote unquote, keeping it together. What he didn't realize till later is the things he was doing to his family. And you can see in his voice, you can see in his inflection, you can see in even him physically how hard that was. And in fact, when he was talking about that, I felt very much of the same. Although things are really good with me now because of what I do and the things that I've practiced and learned, I certainly was somebody who gave my family secondary trauma. So what does that really look like? Well, first of all, the roles often get reversed. Sometimes the other person in the relationship has to start taking on the roles and responsibilities, rather, that you should have been picking up. And it's a marriage. It's a partnership. Maybe they're okay with it for a while, but you don't think that's not going to cause some kind of burnout? You don't think that's not going to cause some kind of animosity? You get pissed off when there's sinks in the dishes. I said that backwards, but I'm not going to delete it. You get pissed off when there's dishes in the sink. I get passionate about this. I get to talking too fast, but I'm not perfect, so I'll leave it. Listen, you get pissed off about the things that you think should be the certain way they are, whatever that is. But those roles are getting reversed in some of your families. She, like in my case, could be he in your case, she is having to pick up some of the roles and responsibilities, whether that's because you're on a deployment, whether that's because you're in some training, whether that's because you work every third day, 24 or 48 hours, whether that's because you commit a lot of time to daily patrol and training and going on with your mission. And some of them may be okay with that for a while. I know my wife was okay maybe doing some of the non-traditional roles because the important role that I was playing, even though she had her own important role. But she understood that. Sometimes it was for the greater good. But you don't think that causes some kind of animosity and some kind of burnout? They often become the caregiver. You tend to be the caregiver for people that you don't even know. You tend to become the caregiver in these military and public safety roles for people that you don't know. And that's honorable. That's heroic in my opinion. I loved showing up to chaos and being the calm in the storm. But these are people you don't even know. Again, honorable. But what about the people you swore to take care of? What about the people like your wife, your children, your family, your spouse, the people around you? What about them? Do they not get the same amount of care? I bet they don't. You can say that you protect them. You know who you're not protecting them from? You, dumbass. You. You don't think that's going to cause some kind of burnout? That your spouse is having to become the caregiver and take on more and more of that constantly all the time, consistently feeling like this is a job and not a marriage? You're protecting them from everybody. Good for you. I still protect them from everybody. I still carry where I go. I still watch my tactics. I'm still aware of my surroundings, not to a hypervigilance level, but to a vigilance level, which is safe. I even still carry a med kit on my ankle, a blowout kit to help people, because I think if you carry something that makes holes, you better carry something to stop the bleeding out of those holes. So I still do that, crazy as it may sound. You can judge that for yourself. I still have IFAKs in my truck. I still have med kits in my truck. I'm going to take care of business. I'm going to protect them. I still stop when I park in places and look around and make sure that my surroundings are okay before we just jump out. I see where I'm going before I drop my wife off at a door somewhere. Make sure nobody's coming up on us. That's all fine. That's vigilance. Good for you. Like me, you're protecting them from other people. You're not protecting them from yourself. You're not protecting them from the burnout and the apathy and the role reversal and the walking around on eggshells that you are causing? What about your kids? What about that secondary trauma you're causing them by the things that you're doing, the explosions that you're having? What about the fact that we've seen over and over and over in research that children with PTSD, children of those with PTSD tend to have more behavioral and emotional and mental health issues? You can find that over and over and over again, not just military and public safety. But if you're in that role, you're in that protector role, and you're not protecting them from you, you're causing them to walk out on eggshells, you're ruining vacations. That's the one I like to do. We finally get some downtime and I screwed up 10 minutes out of town because I'm pissed off about something, because I just got off work or they did something that drives me nuts. When he said that, I felt that. If he'd said that 10 years ago, I'd have probably shed a tear because I knew I was still in the middle of it. And I'm not perfect now, but doing what I do now has helped me along the way. You are not just holding this in and taking care of it yourself. You're not. Quit fooling yourself. You are affecting those around you. No spouse or kids, I promise you there's a group of people that you're affecting around you that are tired of seeing you hurting, that feel like they have to walk on eggshells around you, that no longer invite you to go out to things because you're that guy, that worry about you all the time, that are sick that you might do something stupid to yourself. You're affecting the people around you. And it's absolutely true, and you'll see in my other videos that I cannot necessarily cause emotions to change in other people, but I can't stop being an asshole about it. I can protect them from me as well. Protecting them from me does not mean taking me out of the equation and giving up. It means getting better. It means seeking out the resources. It means seeking out EMDR therapy to help you with these overreactions. It changed my life. It'll change yours in a very short amount of time. I did not become a consultant in it and certified in it because it pays okay. I became those things because it changed my life, and it changes the lives of people that sit on the couch across from me and here online. If I'm the right person for the job, please reach out. I never like ending this with my website because it feels like I'm giving you a commercial. But maybe I'm not the right person for the job, but you need a connection of who might be. That's why I'm willing to do it. TheAngryVikingTherapist.com. Please reach out. Instagram, Dr. Trevor Wilkins, Dr. Trevor Wilkins. Please reach out. Doesn't cost anything to reach out to me. Stop hurting those around you.